Thank you, and good afternoon, Chairman Rogers, Ranking Member Cartwright, members of the committee. I'm proud to be here today representing the roughly 38,000 men and women who make up the FBI. Every day, our people are working relentlessly to outpace our adversaries and to stay ahead of complex and evolving threats. So I'd like to start out by thanking you and the rest of the committee for your support over the years for our efforts to achieve our mission of protecting the American people and upholding the Constitution. At the same time, I also realize the reality of the environment we're in today, where so many agencies are dealing with tightening budgets. And this year, the FBI is one of those agencies. With our fiscal year 2024 budget having now come in almost $500 million below what the FBI needs just to sustain our 2023 efforts. And candidly, this could not have come at a worse time. When I sat here last year, I walked through how we were already in a heightened threat environment. Since then, we've seen the threat from foreign terrorists rise to a whole nother level after October 7th. We continue to see the cartels push fentanyl and other dangerous drugs into every corner of the country, claiming countless American lives. We've seen a spate of ransomware and other cyber attacks impacting parts of our critical infrastructure and businesses, both large and small. Violent crime, which reached alarming levels coming out of the pandemic, remains far too high and is impacting far too many communities. China continues its relentless effort to steal our intellectual property and most valuable information. And that is just scratching the surface. As I look back over my career in law enforcement, I would be hard-pressed to think of a time where so many threats to our public safety and national security were so elevated all at once. But that is the case as I sit here today. And while we have always found ways at the FBI to innovate and make the most with what we have, this is by no means a time to let up or dial back. This is a time when we need your support the most. We need all the tools, all the people, and all the resources required to tackle these threats and to keep Americans safe. So to take each of those in turn, the tools, the people, and the resources. An absolutely indispensable tool that Congress can give us in our fight against foreign adversaries is the reauthorization of Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. It is critical in securing our nation, and we are in crunch time with our 702 authority set to expire next week. So let me be clear, failure to reauthorize 702 or gutting it with some new kind of warrant requirement would be dangerous and put Americans' lives at risk. Second, we need people, and I will stack the FBI's workforce up against anyone, anywhere, anytime. They are innovative, they're efficient, they're relentless, they're professionals, they're patriots, and we have been fortunate at the FBI in recent years that our recruiting has gone through the roof. Americans are applying in droves to devote their lives to a career with us protecting others. But we need more positions to be able to bring all the good people we can to the fight, certainly not fewer. Now is not the time to cut back, it's time to lean forward. And third, we need resources, which you will see in the 2025 budget request that we're here today to discuss. So we need funding to protect America from terrorism. I touched on this earlier, but there was already a heightened risk of violence in the United States before October 7th. Since then, we've seen a rogues gallery of foreign terrorist organizations call for attacks against Americans and our allies. And given those calls for action, our most immediate concern has been that individuals or small groups will draw some kind of twisted inspiration from the events in the Middle East to carry out attacks here at home. But now, increasingly concerning, is the potential for a coordinated attack here in the homeland, akin to the ISIS-K attack we saw at the Russia concert hall just a couple weeks ago. We also need funding to counter the threat from the People's Republic of China, a government sparing no expense in its quest to hack, lie, cheat, and steal its way to the top as a global superpower and to undermine our democracy and our economic success. We need funding to counter cyber threats, certainly those from China, but also from a crowded field of sophisticated hostile nation states and criminals, nation states like Russia, Iran, North Korea. We need funding, fentanyl, gangs like MS-13, human trafficking. We need funding to address the violent crime that remains at levels in this country that are still too high. And we need funding to keep going after child predators and to rescue young victims from their tormentors. Now, in all those areas I just mentioned, we're working closely with our partners at all levels of government to achieve our shared goal of keeping our communities safe. Every day, FBI agents, analysts, and professional staff are working shoulder to shoulder with thousands of task force officers from hundreds of different police departments and sheriff's offices all over the country on our FBI-led task forces. On top of that, we provide technology and expertise, valuable investigative leads like DNA matches, and cutting-edge training to law enforcement nationwide to help them protect Americans from harm. So cuts to us are cuts to our partners, state and local law enforcement agencies and officers who are on the ground putting themselves in the line of fire, often quite literally. And that is just one way those cuts are going to have real impacts on the American people. So yes, we took a hit in the 2024 budget, but the 2025 budget is a chance to get back on track, to provide the FBI's men and women the tools and the resources the American people need us to have to keep them safe. So thank you again for having me here today, and I look forward to our discussion.